Right, there was this bloke, right, and this woman, right, and she was called Mary and he was called Joseph, and they weren't getting on. They'd had a bit of a fallout, and then Mary sort of went out nightclubbing. I met her, ploughed her with alcohol. She got proper well frisky, then got her pregnant round back of this nightclub, and about 5 months later found out that she was pregnant. Nightmare, didn't really need a kid, like young, free and single and all that. Anyway, talking to my mate Gabriel, and I said, I've got this bird pregnant, but the trouble is she's married to this guy called Joseph. And Gabriel said, well, if you tell Joseph that it's yours, they're going to split up, and then you'll end up paying for child support for this kid that you probably don't even want. I'm like, I don't want it. He says, well, why don't you make up this story, tell them that you never had sex, but you just planted this baby inside Mary with mind bullets, and he's got to be called Jesus, because like nobody's called Jesus, are they? I'm like, yeah, all right. And he goes, and it's a gift from you. I went, all right, but I'm not telling her that. Can you go around and tell? Because Gabriel's well good with words, right? So Gabriel pops around, knocks on the door. Now then, Mary and Joseph got a message from God. You can see, like, he's saying Mary's face, like, dropped. She's like, oh no, this is going to be bad. Sits him down, and Gabriel says, look, God's got Mary pregnant. They've not had sex around back of a nightclub or anything like that. But, like, he wants to have this baby. You got to call it Jesus, by the way. And Joseph was like, right, this all sounds great. Because Joseph is fake, really. He's just a carpenter. Like, he didn't even make good stuff. He didn't make cupboards or all like that. He just made them, like, you know, picnic desks, picnic tables. He was like, yeah, this sounds good. And totally fell for it. Mary, like, gave Gabriel a nod, like, good story, Gabriel. It convinced him, and so she was pregnant, and Joseph was like, yeah, cool. My wife is having the son of God, because he's stupid. Anyway, bad timing as it happened. Due to be born around December 25th, which turned out to be the exact right date, which turned out to be the same day that King Herod forced every single person in the whole of Israel to go to the town where they were originally born and register again to vote, because they have general elections around there. And luckily for Mary, she lived in Jerusalem with Moses, with Joseph, and what she did was she only came from Bethlehem originally, which is just like 400 yards down the road. So she was in a good spot, but she got a bit of an ego, and she was like, well, I am carrying the baby of God, so I ain't walking it. They were like, well, it's only 400 yards down the road. And she was like, well, I ain't walking it, because like I'm the mother of the Son of God now, so you better get me some sort of transport. Joseph was like, well, we ain't even invented cars yet, so what do you want? I can get you like a bike with square wheels, because we ain't invented wheel yet. And she went, well, nah, I want luxury. So he went out, he had a mate who sold used donkeys down at used donkey lot, and he borrowed a donkey off him, and they walked to 400 yards. Even people next door were going, you can walk that, it's just up there. You're walking further to collect your donkey than you are to walk to Bethlehem. Anyway, she was like, I'm not having it. I'm going on donkey. And make sure it takes us a long time, and we'll play it out as like a right big trip. So that's what happened. They got a donkey ride. Anyway, Joseph, being a complete donut, forgot to book an hotel 400 yards away from where they lived. And when he got there was this guy who ran a hotel, and he came at the door and went, what are you doing here? And he went, well, I've got a room booked for me and Mrs. because she can't be asked to go back to Jerusalem. That's just there. Because you can see our house from here. It's that one there where I've left TV on. And then he goes, well, we ain't got any room. You should have booked ahead. He went, well, I thought I did book. And he went, well, did you get a confirmation email? No, I didn't. Well, it's not booked then, is it? If you want, you can sleep in shed round back. So Joseph said, oh, I'm sorry, Mary, I've made a cock up here. She weren't best pleased, but there's put some like straw down on floor, and then she had little baby Jesus right there in this shed. And word spread quickly to next village because they could hear her screaming. They're like, what's that screaming? Just so happened there were some wise men there, and they went, let's go check out what that screaming is. They followed screaming, found that Mary had a baby, and then some crap gifts like that they were just carting around. Gave them to Mary. She was like best pleased. They all stood around and looked at baby Jesus, and he was like, new baby, so that's entertaining. Took a few photographs, and then they went back and told the shepherds on the way back. They went, you won't believe it. You know that dummy who does picnic benches, Joseph? His wife's just had a baby. She could have had it at home, but no. She got all fussy, and she's ended up having it in shed over there behind that hotel. So they went, let's check this out. So they went over to Bethlehem. It's not for 2 minutes it took them to walk it. They went, knocked on door to shed and went, now then, is it all right if we come in and look at baby Jesus? And they went, yeah, suppose you can come in. We brought some sheep and stuff, gathered sheep around, and they went, we followed this star, and they were like, well, what are you talking about? You could see where its shed is. You don't need to follow the star. You can hear her screaming. And they went, well, I don't know. It just sounds like a better story if we had to follow a star to get here. They went, right. And then they didn't have any presents because they were just sheep rustlers. And then they all gathered round, and there was some sheep. They did some singing. They sang that while shepherds watch their flock by night. And then it was a new day, and word had got round that Jesus had been born. King Herod thought, I'm not having that. I'm not having them taking limelight off me. So what he did was he started butchering babies, and but he got all wrong ones, and baby Jesus survived. He honestly didn't think that Joseph had it in him to have a baby, and he weren't aware that it was actually my baby, and we called him Jesus, and he was the Son of God. But regardless of that, best thing that comes out of this whole story is later on in life, taught Jesus this really cool trick, right, where you can get water and you turn it into proper wine and get smashed off your tits. Well good.